This is a look at the mini laser lighting kit being sold by WickedHD. I'm going to start by showing off the hardware, and then I'm going to show you how the lights look. I'm going to move into a darker area of my house to show it off. So here it is. The kit itself is pretty small, nice and compact. Build quality, I would say, is decent. The aluminum case is put together pretty well, no sharp edges or anything. It's got a bunch of nicks on it, but if you're going to be putting it on a stage, you're going to get that anyway. The screws are not recessed, but overall it's built pretty well. I like the aluminum case. It's got a nice feel to it. It also has this bracket that I took off. It comes installed. It just goes right on top here with these thumb screws if you want to use it, but I don't use that part, so I took it off. Some pieces that aren't quite as good. This tripod is, in my opinion, pretty much worthless. The legs are okay. They're aluminum, but they don't stick out very far. This is really the weak link up here. This top part, this ball joint, is plastic. So you can move it up, position it around, you can tighten it down as far as it'll go, assuming that yours is anything like mine, and it'll still move pretty easily. So I tried putting the unit on top of it, and it just kind of fell over every time. So you're going to want a different tripod if you're not going to mount it up on this thing. Yeah, this wasn't really worthwhile. The cord works fine, but it's kind of short. So if you're actually going to be using this on a stage, you're going to want an extension cord most likely. Even in your house, you're probably going to want one if you're using a party. But the main unit itself is actually pretty decent. Right now it sells for $18.50. I don't think it's a bad deal. But let me show you how the lights look. So before I turn it on, I want to point out when I do turn it on, you're probably going to hear a fairly loud noise because this fan back here is kind of loud. So if you're using it at a party or on a stage, you're not going to notice it at all. But if you're using it in a quiet house, you're definitely going to hear it. I'm going to show you how some of the different controls work. So there's a motor control here. Inside of this is a motor that spins a wheel. You can control how fast it does that. There's a strobe controller for how fast it strobes. So you can either have it, well, off obviously, constantly on, or have the strobe running. And if you have the strobe running, this will control it. I'll also show you the music and auto feature here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to turn it on. And I don't think my camera really does it justice. The lights are, I mean, very bright green and red. It's really fascinating to look at. But this is just the pattern that it goes through. So that motor controller I was talking about, you can turn it all the way off. You can freeze it in any orientation that you want. So you can spin it, stop it, any way you want. You can have it move slowly all the way up to this speed here where it's moving fast. So let me freeze it and I'll show you the strobe feature. So the strobe, so this is the slowest it goes, and you can adjust the speed up to this, which is the fastest. And then if you're strobing it and you spin the motor the fastest, you get an effect like this. And you can control it any way you want, anywhere in between there. So I just slowed the strobe down a little bit. I think it's got a great look to it. You can make it look just like fireworks. It's very nice. I'm going to go to constant on here. I'm going to slow the motor down. I'm going to show you the music feature. So there's a microphone in front of this. It's not going to be running at the moment, so I'll show you. So here's the light port. Here's the microphone. So if I snap my fingers, you can see that it's running it that way. I'll turn the motor on so you can see that the pattern should be changing a little bit as I'm snapping. Now it's a pretty, well, I'd say it's not a very sensitive microphone, or your music has to be pretty loud. So it works great when I'm snapping my fingers, but I had music playing. It never turned on, and it was kind of loud to me. It wasn't really loud, not stage loud, but it's not that sensitive. But again, here's how the lights look. I think it's fascinating to look at. I really enjoy it. Again, for about $18, I think this is a fantastic little item that you can buy. Again, there's the fan running. I don't know if you can see inside the ports here, but when you get it, you can see what's inside. It looks kind of like a laser pointer, and it's pointing up against, there's the DC motor there. It's spinning a wheel on the inside. But the end effect, I think, is just very cool. Anyway, I just wanted to show that off. Thanks a lot for watching.